Hey guys, welcome to today's solo episode of the Men Made for More podcast. And today I'm going to be talking about why you need to stop managing your time. So many men try and cram as much as they can into their day. They focus on optimizing every inch of their schedule and every second of their day. They run late from meeting to meeting, call to call, and they always feel overwhelmed. At the end of the week, they feel like they don't have enough to show for the crazy effort that they put forth in the week. Does this sound familiar? These are the dangers of trying to manage every minute of every day at the expense of managing your results, your time, and your relationships. So listen up today to learn the better way to manage your life that will change the way you're showing up in life, in your relationships, and in your business. Now, guys, there's just not enough hours in the day. And this is where so many guys get stuck because they get their planners out, they get their agendas out, they look at what they have to do in the week. And looking ahead in a week, if you're anything like me, it can be overwhelming of all the things that you have to get done. There's just not enough hours in the day. You look at the week, you're like, how am I possibly going to get all these things done? And if you're a business owner listening to this, you can definitely relate. If you have a family, you can definitely relate to always feeling behind, always feeling overwhelmed with just too much to do and dealing with a to-do list that seems to get longer every single day. You cross things off the to-do list and it just keeps getting longer. And if you're not getting the results you want in your relationships, in your body, in your business, then you might need to consider a different way to go about managing your time, your energy, the results you're getting. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today, because there is a better way. I've been through the struggle personally of trying to maximize every minute, try and plan out my entire day from minute to minute, get as much done as I can, squeeze every inch out of it. And you know what? It left me burned out, left me worn down. My relationships weren't great. My results weren't even that great. I felt like I was doing a ton, but I didn't have anything to show for it. And there's so many coaching clients I'm working with right now that are just crazy productive, more productive than me in terms of what they're actually doing. When they talk about what they're doing over the course of a day, over the course of a week, I'm like, dang, that's a grind, that's a hustle, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're hustling, they're working like crazy, they're getting so much done each day and each week, but they still are not getting the results or seeing the fruits of all their hard work. They come saying things like, I'm just doing, like I'm doing everything I can, but I'm still not where I want to be in my business. My marriage still isn't where I want to be. My body's a wreck right now. I just feel worn down. I feel like I don't have the energy to produce. They're overstressed, overwhelmed, burned out. But when can shift them away. So when we can implement some of these strategies we're going to talk about, when we can shift away from just time management and into a new way of managing your life. And that's exactly what this is, guys. This is life management, not just time management, life management. Your results and your overall well-being will shoot through the roof in all areas of your life. Because when I've implemented this with other clients, all of a sudden they feel like they're getting so much more done with less effort. Actually, they have more time to spend on things they want to be doing, spend with their family, spend doing things outside of work, but still get the results that you're chasing. And that's possible for you guys listening here today as well. So instead of focusing on just managing your time, managing your schedule, maximizing every inch of it, I want you to focus on these three things instead. So I have three things I want you guys to focus on for overall life management and to start getting the rewards of all the hard work that I know you guys are putting in. First thing, focus on energy management. So we're moving from time management to focusing on energy management. And I talk to this all the time about every single one of our clients, because it's not enough to just squeak every minute out of every day. You need to make sure you're managing your energy in the course of a given day, given week, given quarter, in a given year. Now, what I mean by energy management is that's how you're showing up. That's how much energy are you bringing to the task at hand. Because if you're anything like me, when I was hitting those periods of feeling burned out, you probably lacked energy. You might've been grinding, getting up early, staying up late, doing more, but how much were you really bringing to that task from an energy standpoint? Were you doing workouts and movement that fueled your energy and gave you even more energy? Are you eating in a way that does that? Are you taking care of your sleep and your stress in a way that allows you to maximize your energy and show up to the best of your ability with the highest amount of energy to your calls, to your coaching, to your clients, to your customers, to the business you're working on. And not just that, to your family. If you find yourself to the end of the day where you're working so hard and you come home to your family, come home to your spouse, and you're just drained, you feel like you need to veg, you need to throw on Netflix or browse your phone and just wind down, grab a drink. Guys, those things are not sustainable. And that's not managing your energy in the way that's going to allow you to best show up for yourself and for those around you. Now, like I mentioned, this is on a day-to-day scale. So you want to make sure that day-to-day you're structuring your schedule in a way that that allows you to maximize your energy. And this is something we go deep on with every single one of our clients of how do we move things around so that you're peaking when you need to peak. And maybe the times where you're not as productive or where your energy dips, that's when we can take care of some of those things that aren't as important. But you always want to make sure that you're peaking during those times where you need to be. Now that's going to fluctuate day to day for people. That's also going to be week to week. Guys, the reality is we can't peak and perform at that red line, that 100% every single minute of every single day. And if you try to, you're going to run into a wall at some point. But if you can manage your energy day to day and then week to week, say, hey, what big things do I have coming up this week that I really want to be full energy for? What's coming up this month? What do I need to do this quarter to, take some intentional time away, take a weekend off or a week off somewhere to recharge, and whatever that looks like. That's how you can start to focus on your energy management to just get more out of those hours that you're working. It's not just about working more hours, it's about getting more out of it. Second thing, move from focusing on time management to focus on results management. This was a big realization for me, as I noticed I was doing a lot. I was getting a lot of things done, but what results was I getting? What didn't see the results in some of those areas that I was working so hard on. And we see this a lot with people with their physical body. It's not enough to just work out 6 days a week for an hour. There's better ways to structure that so that you're getting the results you want. Because for most people, the goal is not just to work out a certain amount of times a week. The goal is to look better, to feel better, to be more confident, to be stronger, to perform better, to run that marathon, to have the body you want, to be more confident. Those are the results we're after. And this is a delicate dance, if you will, because we definitely need to focus on the process. We need to be all about the process, but at the same time, that process has to be leading us to the specific results we want. It's not enough to just work 80 hours a week in your business if you're not making any money. It's not enough to just try harder in your relationships, in other areas of your life, if you're not actually seeing the return on those things. So does it mean it's always going to be easy? We struggle through this all the time. This is something Lindsay and I have to come back to every single day, almost every single week, to remind ourselves that it's not enough to just be, putting in more time, putting in more effort. That's only going to leave you burned out, going to leave you worn down. But instead, make sure you're getting the results you want. And this requires a high degree of self-accountability, and ideally having accountability from someone else, from a coach, from a group, from someone that can hold you to those results, to that standard that you're striving for. Because at the end of the day, at the end of the year, it's not enough to say, well, look how hard I worked. I worked this many hours. I worked out this many times. Those things are great. And a lot of times those will, move you in the right direction of where you need to be. But wouldn't it be better to say, hey, look at the results I've got. Look at how my marriage is right now after working on it intentionally over the course of this year. Look at where my business is. Look at the revenue we're bringing in, the employees we were able to hire. Look at where my body is. Look at what it looks like. It feels like, the confidence I have in it. Those are the results that matter. So make sure you're not getting caught up in just doing, grinding at the expense of making sure you're getting those results that you're after. Third thing to focus on maximizing the quality of your time and your relationships. Quality, guys. It's not just about quantity. It's not about how much you're putting in. And I know I'm beating a dead horse with this one, but it's about so much more than just the quantity that you're putting in. How's the quality of that time you're showing up with? If you're working 60 hours a week right now, could you work 40 hours, get the same results? Show up to those hours with a higher degree of quality, well rested, energized, attacking the day, attacking those work hours, and then also using those extra 20 hours left over to be more intentional in your relationships, spend more time in your family, work out, sleep, give your body the energy it needs. This is the quality that you need to start focusing on in your time and in your relationships. Don't neglect either one of those, because some people just pour into the amount of time they're investing and relationships fall apart. Relationships take as much effort as your physical body does, as your business does. You need to be investing in those with the same degree of energy and with the same degree of focus. And those relationships matter so much. So don't forget about focusing on the quality of those, because that's what's going to sustain you in the long term. Again, guys, we're always playing the long game. This isn't about just maximizing what you do this week, having a really good month in business, in work, in your fitness or your health. This is about looking at, what do the next 12 months look like? What next 3 years look like? 5 years, 10 years? This is the foundation you're laying down right now, is going to help get you to that point that you want to be, that vision that we talk about. And if you guys missed last week's episode about thinking big and acting small, that's exactly the thing. Focus on that long-term vision and make sure everything you're doing is giving yourself the quality to show up. And I was on a coaching call with one of my mentors. I was getting coaching myself, and talked a lot about. He was talking about why he prioritizes his sleep so much, why he prioritizes boundaries of being able to cut off. And I'm not good with this. Be able to cut off so well at for him, 4 p.m. There's no more email. There's no more checking anything. Even if a big offer comes in from a client, he's not getting to it until the next day. And what he said to me was something along the lines of, if I compromise on that, two things are happening. You're taking away from relationships. So if he decides to work 20 minutes later, it's draining his energy. It's taking away from his relationships that he has set aside for time with his kids. And it's also not playing the long game. That if you compromise in those little ways, day after day, week after week, you might run into burnout later. You might not be able to show up 6 months from now, a year from now, in the same way that you want to. So remember, this is a long game. You have to stick with it, and you have to be disciplined enough to be able to say no when you need to, and manage those areas that we're talking about. Not just manage your time, but manage every single one of those areas. So in quick summary here, guys, instead of focusing on time management, focus on energy management, focus on results management, and focus on maximizing the quality of your time and your relationships. Guys, I think the take action takeaway. If you guys have never thought about this, time management or energy or results management, start small. Just start with putting together what you want to get done this week. What are the results I want to achieve this week? And how can I show up with more energy to my tasks? And what's one relationship I can focus on more intentionally this week? That would be an amazing starting point. And if you feel like you're advanced with time management, if you've been doing this for a while, I'm sure there's some gaps that were revealed that you can focus more on. Maybe you need to show up with more energy to your tasks. You need to be more disciplined with getting to bed at a certain time, eating and moving in a way that promotes energy. Maybe you need to hold yourself more accountable to the results you're getting, or maybe you're neglecting some of those relationships that you need to get back to. Whatever that is for you, focus on one of those things, start small with it, guys, and take action on it. Guys, thanks for listening in. This is something that's made such a transformation in my life, such a transformation in so many of my clients' lives. And this is one of the biggest game changers that I'm sharing with you guys. So don't take this lightly. Don't gloss over it. Make sure you're taking action. And if you need a little help, a little structure on it, I have a great resource for you guys. You can grab our free daily, it's called our Made for More planner. And the link is right there in the show notes. This will help you gain clarity and start taking action towards your goals by downloading the step-by-step planner that goes along with the same things we're talking about, of how to structure your day, how to structure your week, your quarter, your year. These are the things you guys have to start thinking about to get organized, get clear, and get focused on taking action and making big progress towards your goals. Because like I've said all episode, it's not enough to just put in more time. You got to be really, really intentional with these areas to see the results you want. So if you guys need help with that, go download the free planner. It's linked in the show notes there. If you guys have any questions, if you ever need anything, DM me on Instagram, shoot me a text, 760-477-4361. I would love to hear from you guys if this episode was impactful, if this episode was helpful. I always welcome feedback. Love hearing how you guys are taking this and applying it. So thanks for listening in, guys. Thanks for investing in yourself, and I will talk to you guys soon.